Okay, this is our love reading for today. So, what do we have in the collective? Well, we have a new beginning, but we have Kenaz kind of lopsided, which means although there is a spark that is igniting this connection, the way forward is not that clear, which indicates to me that this is a fairly new connection. It may not be in the relationship phase yet. This could be in the desire phase, the lustful phase. Somebody here in this connection is worried that things aren't going to take off, is worried that, yeah, there was a meeting, there was a connection, there was inspiration here, but they were afraid that it wasn't going to take off, that the people involved here weren't going to move forward with this attraction. It was just kind of like there's an attraction and then it's going to die off or fade away. But this rune here, I forgot the name. It's meant to replicate a funeral pyre where you hang dead animals or dead corpses to bleed out. And it's in reverse. And usually this is foreseen in a negative way, you know, the refusal to move on, etc., the refusal to transform, etc. But it's really funny that this would fall literally in this position right beside the Ace of Wands, which almost looks similar. So what this is telling me is that this connection with Berkano or Berkanu, with the Kenaz rune lopsided, shows me that there is a spark here and that there is a new beginning, and that although there's somebody in this connection that is feeling as if it's not going to move forward, it will move forward. It's just a matter of when. We also have Awaz here. This is about partnerships, you know, the partnership between horse and rider, moving forward, fluidity, going forward. The Gebo rune isn't always about gifts, but it's about physical exchange, you know, the X for kisses and hugs. You have this gifting, this giving to one another, and then you have hope in reversed in between the Ace of Wands and Gebo. So what this tells me is that somebody in this connection is thinking that whatever exchange has occurred between the two people might not lead into anything more than just like a passionate encounter or meeting. But the cards with the Awaz is telling me a different story, that there is potential here. And then we have Mani. And Mani was associated with the man in the moon, and that's where we get that terminology. And then you have Isa here. So with Mani, it's all about time being of the essence. The Vikings prioritized time because life was short. So what you get done was very meaningful, and not wasting time is very meaningful. And then you get Isa, which is kind of like a block to a connection here, kind of like feelings freezing over. And it seems negative, but I get the sensation here from the cards, and I usually look into things, but when you get something like just what we're seeing right here, you're seeing something that is moving forward, but not as expected. There's a lot of passionate feelings here, and then it's just not strong enough because it's still in its infantile phase, kind of like a seed just starting out. So there is a blockage here, but I get the sensation that when you do encounter this person, that time almost seems as if it stops when you're with them. Expectations stop. The desire to, you know, be accountable for every moment and every plan forward stops. You just start existing with this person and not paying attention to everything else that is meaningful. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing. When you connect with someone new, it's nice to have that sensation here. So then we have the Six of Swords, and this usually indicates going off into the sunset, into calmer waters. And then you have the Six of Wands, victory, public decree, and then you have the Nine of Swords. And I feel like I've been getting a lot of these cards in repeat, but don't let that concern you. So what I see here is somebody's really concerned about publicizing this connection. They're also concerned about being victorious in this connection because maybe, it shouldn't be a maybe, I should know. So okay. I got the Well of Word. Why is it that this person is concerned about this connection? Wisdom, knowledge, intention, fate, not knowing what is in store, having had different plans for one's future, being directed into a new direction. Okay, these are the words, these are the sayings that just appeared to me when looking at this card. So what I am sensing from this is that this person had other plans for their future, and a new connection might not play into those plans. And as a result, they are concerned about moving forward, but they really shouldn't, because the Well of Word is all about replenishment. I usually see it as a form of eternal life, eternal knowledge and wisdom, connection with the divine, an absolute source of growth, spiritual growth. And this person might be concerned about this connection because they're not sure if they're ready to grow with another human being in the same manner that they had foreseen their growth. There's some self-sabotage here. They're spending a lot of time worrying about how they're supposed to take this connection to another level. There's also concern about travel for some reason. Possibly they need to travel to you. And I'm not really getting a huge underlying theme about travel other than this Ace of Wands here. Sometimes Ace of Wands can indicate travel. So this person may be concerned about movement between the two of you, movement towards one or the other, and this is causing some mental turmoil. This is a typical case of swords, the mental aspect, intellectual aspect of a person, coming into contrast with the spiritual, passionate, fiery elements of one's being. So we've got one that's trying to let go of hardship and one that can't let go of hardship, to one that utilizes that hardship in order to initiate a victory. So what does this mean for a relationship connection? What it means is that this person, it's with the Isa and Mani card, comes to a bit of a standstill for time. They pause for a while because they're trying to figure out, how not to self-sabotage. They're trying to not overthink the connection. They're trying to be very positive about this movement towards you. And at the same time, they know that you're a trophy and that you're somebody that must be held in high regard. And what's interesting here is we've got an older symbol that's associated with Gabo. These cards use runes, Anglo-Saxon runes, Ultra Futhark runes. They also use the runes that were developed during World War II. And this would be a form of Gabo. So, and then we have that here. So this person feels that the ultimate form of respect for you and the collective is to give you as some form of sacrifice. And that sacrifice would have to do with their reputation, their ego, their sense of self. They're willing to stand in the line of, in the spotlight for you. And three of the things that I think it was a gentleman by the name of Harvey something, and please forgive me if I'm wrong, but he had said that when a man loves you, he professes, he provides, and he protects. And we have a divine male who feels the need to profess, protect, and the providing aspect, the relationship hasn't evolved there yet, but you can see some of that with the gift giving. And that's another way to look at this reading here. This is about a younger male who can be idealistic at times, and a female that may be more mature in her demeanor, and she's a bit of a mystery. So this person doesn't know how to approach them. In addition to that, this could happen during the next full moon, And when it happens, it will happen very fast.